thought I was super powered.
Durky Durker.
Should we start before it gets too late?
Yeah.
I guess. What's the worst that happens? We have a shitty podcast.
Last time.
That is indeed the worst.
Like
that happens.
Happen. Come on.
But the thing is that everyone's like, make more. Ah.
Put them on iTunes.
Yeah, I actually didn't look at the video at all on YouTube. Have we gotten any good feedback?
I'm
Crackles.
sure.
We've
We
gotten
got
lots
people...
of comments about how crackly it is.
Like in the
Yeah.
past few days, I've had people asking me to make more and then put them on iTunes, so I think that's positive.
Wait, are you recording?
We have a demand, but
You're a demand.
Wait,
I am
did you
demand.
start
Your
recording?
daddy's a demand.
that's awesome. Fuck you.
Did you start recording?
Yes.
I did, but
Oh,
Where's
God.
JC?
Okay.
he's been gone for 2 days.
Really? Didn't.
Check your
He's
friends
never
list.
coming back, guy.
Okay, I'm recording now. I'm a little late. And
We know.
slow,
I miss him now.
like normal.
Sort of.
How ironic,
So-
because he was always the one who was gung-ho to do this. I'd be so butthurt.
So I
So
got,
we
Renee.
I
started.
got
I
a.
think we can start with a good
We could start with
Saison
talking all at the same
Senraku.
time again.
Saison Senryaku!
Imagine.
So I got a comment on Let's Play Dead Space 3.
Oh, here we go.
"Lol, this is Dead Space 2, loser." Or something to that effect.
LOL.
Oh snap!
Hold on, let me go read it. I think I probably misquoted, but it's still hilarious. Because like, out of all the stupid things I've gotten, that's probably the worst.
So this is like 3 levels of failure here.
Okay, been buried in shit.
Just rivers of piss.
When
When did your comments become B?
I'm looking at the comments for Spelunky. Why am I doing that?
Oopsie.
It just literally says Dead Space 2, haha loser. And he spelled loser with like L-U-S-E-R.
Ellie Weezer.
Yeah.
Lucer.
Maybe it's a compliment in French.
It's not.
Oh.
Oh.
Way to ruin the conversation.
I do that.
Made us all
We had
sad.
a good gig going.
No, I ruined everything.
Oh,
Yeah, you made us all sad.
I know.
Deanna's put up a new video 2 hours ago.
Who did?
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Ooh,
Too
Jesus.
late there. I'm not going to talk about this topic that I'm going to thoroughly discuss how I'm not going to talk about it.
Right on, right on. So,
I bet if
gentlemen,
Jesus comes back, he'll announce it through Twitter. Seems like something he'd do.
if Jesus comes back, is that what you just said?
Yeah, he'd probably announce it
BRB
through either
chicken
Twitter
Twitter.
or YouTube.
Let's
He'd
see.
Twitter it or vlog it, something like that.
I've recently been following this guy who is hilarious. Like, he posts just, like, the funniest stuff. Like, what was the first one that I saw?
Is it Nanners?
No, it's not. It's not Neanners.
You should check to see if twitter.com/the son of God is something.
Is it the guy who did Maguka?
It might be Christ.
Taking fake celebrities to a whole new level.
Oldest celebrity.
I think Stephen Hawking is capable of so much more, but he just doesn't seem to be putting his best foot forward.
I hate you. Why would you say this?
Hey-o!
Because it's funny. That's why he'd say it.
Wait
They're
a minute.
funny. They're funny.
Oh hey, look at that. The son of God is a thing. And there's one tweet.
What is it? What is
It
this
says-
one?
It says, "Just watched The Rock. Sometimes I see Sean Connery and wonder which of us is really the Messiah. Then I remember I'm Jesus fucking Christ."
That certainly sounds like
That
Jesus.
is something Jesus Christ of Nazareth would say.
Yeah, I believe it.
Full name and everything.
Sounds legit, just like that guy who asked me to get in his van because he had candy.
Oh
And I
yeah,
was like,
dude. Did you get candy? What'd he get?
No,
Oh,
well,
dude, I hope he had those nerds ropes. Those are delicious.
You know, I don't get.
Can full of
I
Reese's.
get like people asking
wrong
me
way.
to come into a van with candy if I was like 10. But this was like a year ago. I was 19, and there's some guys like he wants some candy in my van. It's like, really? You're doing this to a 19-year-old man?
Maybe that was his fetish.
Maybe he just really wanted to be reported to the authorities that day. Excuse me,
I think he thought
officer.
I was a girl because it was back when I had long hair. To be honest.
If you want to get
And it was
arrested,
night.
there's
Who
Who the
easier
hell
ways
was
to
taking
do
you
it.
for a girl?
Well, it was 2 a.m, and he was in the parking lot, and it was night. So
Well, which parking lot? Did I miss that? Where was it?
there was like a parking lot outside Best Buy, and he was just like at a van
Oh,
there.
yes! The best place to go trolling for kids is Best Buy,
Best
2
Buy.
a.m. That man knew. He knew how to party. You should have got in.
That's where I used to go when I was like 13, 14. Best Buy, 2 a.m.
Hop
Fuck
in the
yeah.
guys' vans?
Right?
Good to
Yeah.
know. That's what Pastry does in his free time.
That was the
Yeah,
best.
I know. Like, Ren, what kind of childhood did you have? If you didn't hop in someone's van, you weren't cool.
I remember
Yeah.
playing a game where hopping in someone's van was like game over. What was that?
It
was
Alter
Child
Ego.
Rape 3000.
You're right.
Also known as Child Rape 3000, but yeah, it was
No,
like
also
I think it
known
was
as
just
you
called
can't
like
fucking
Real
get
Life
raped
or
in that
something.
game.
Yeah, it was like a life simulator or
Yeah,
something.
where
Alter Ego, I'm
instantly
telling
the
you.
only goal in that game became to die as fast as you can.
Every
Wait.
time I fucking played that game, I always died peacefully in my bed. It pisses me
It
off.
was the worst.
That
You
was the
could
browser
not kill
game, right?
yourself.
The worst I ever
Yeah.
did was I had a heart attack on the stairs when I was 80. That's like the worst I ever got. It's like,
I
I'm dead.
actually managed to pull off getting the exact death we were talking about. I hopped in the car of a stranger and was raped and killed.
Oh wait, no, I did
How
die as a
did
kid
you
once.
do
I got
it?
stoned
I
and
tried
overdosed on
really
heroin.
hard.
I don't
One
know.
time I
It,
did
it was kind of an
overdose on heroin and
accident.
died. So that was a different one.
I
When
was
like
playing
16.
it. Go ahead.
No, that's it. Already done.
No, I was playing it for real. Not to die as quickly as possible.
For
And then all of a
realsies.
sudden, I just spontaneously had this desire to like, oh, I'll get in the car with a stranger, and it'll turn out to be like a joke or something. It's like, no, you're suddenly dead.
I'm sorry, but you were playing life for real, and then suddenly you just got this strong desire to get in someone's van.
Yep.
Who says that?
Pastry does.
I do. I was
Oh,
playing
you.
the game of life for serious.
I just
So,
thought to get in someone's van. I had this inexplicable urge to get in the van.
So I had a girlfriend who was really turned on by good vocabulary, and eventually we came to terms.
I hate you.
Oh god, where's the soundboard when I need it? Fuck.
Telling you, this guy on Twitter is the best. But I digress.
Actual topic: Space Station 13. More Space Station 13 stories.
Yeah,
'cause
we got
more.
a ton of Space Station 13 stories for you guys to envy.
Because
Envy Adams over.
as of the last Dappercast, having reminisced about Space Station 13, we all kind of said, "Man, we should play that again." So we did, and we got a lot of good shit.
Even I played. We got it
Yeah,
working.
remember Ren? He couldn't work it. He was like the odd one out.
Yep.
Now he's
I
the big
still
man on
haven't
campus.
played it for real.
Uh,
real,
as
real,
as
not
you
for
can play
play.
it. Yeah, right. For serious.
So who's got a story to start with?
Go for it, bro.
Want me to go?
Should
I
I
wanna
just tell
show
my
the clone
introduction
one.
story?
Yeah, do it. Go ahead. Yeah, you deserve this one. Go.
Okay. So I
Oh.
started playing Space Station 13 for the first time, and I picked an assistant. And I was like, okay, what do? And just kind of wandered around until Hatework showed up and taught me how to drop the rope that I was dragging along across the entire place.
Yeah.
How to
You were
drop.
pulling this rope, and I was like, click the drop button. And you're like, I am. It's not doing anything. So eventually I just grab it out of your hands and throw it on the floor. It was my
How do
fault
I
for giving you
drop
bad
it?
advice.
How
Um,
drop rope.
and then then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna show you around. And so he showed me around the place, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting this. Looks a bit janky, but it's pretty interesting. And then we were wandering around, and then we got an alert over the thing that said the library is now filled with magma, and we just kind of walked past it.
Space lava.
I'd never seen magma before, but there it was in the library. It was pretty contained, just nobody went near botany or the library ever again.
This is what happens when people take the game of the floor is now lava too far.
No, man, it's not fun unless it's for real. And then the library was filled with magma.
And then me and him went over to what? It was genetics, right?
Yep.
We went over to genetics, and there was a couple monkeys, and I was like, oh, look, monkeys. And he was like, yeah, and then he turned one of the monkeys into a human, and then I beat it to death. And then I started punching him, and he punched me, and then as we were punching each other, an earthquake happened on the ship and knocked both of us unconscious.
Space earthquake.
Did it? I don't remember that. I think you're fabricating.
We both fell over, remember? And we were like, oh god, how are we over? And then you're
No,
like, I don't know.
I think you punched me, and then I fell over, and then I was getting back up, and I punched you down. That's all it was.
Oh, okay.
I punched you, and then you punched me. It was simple as that.
And so then he's like, I'm gonna try something, and then we genetically experimented on each other after he told me to take off all of my clothes.
Yeah. Standard procedure, Ren. Don't complain.
Get naked. Do it.
And so I got naked and hopped into the pod, and then became telepathic or telekinetic.
Yeah, telekinetic.
I became telekinetic. And then he's like, ooh, and then he made himself telekinetic, and me and him
I injected myself with Ren's DNA. Yep.
After I was naked.
Yep.
So, extrapolate. So then we continued to wander around and steal things through walls, because you could apparently do that if you're telekinetic. And I was looking around for a gun. I didn't find one, but we got to security, and he's like, oh, here's a door. Let's break this down. And
that was the door that led to guns that we could steal through walls.
But he's like, this isn't working, so he told me to go get a fire extinguisher, so I did, and then we broke through that wall, and then he took a step in and didn't realize there was an electric grating there, and immediately knocked himself unconscious.
Yep.
He was like, oh god, bring me back to life. So I dragged him to an airlock and killed him.
Yep.
And that's the end of my Space Station 13 experience.
Okay, I gotta start.
Way to go! You rock! Woohoo!
Love that soundboard.
What? Oh god. I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Alright,
Okay,
Hiron, I know you've got a ton of good stories.
I have two good ones.
Okay, let's hear them.
One of them's you know what one of them is. It's the one where you were the geneticist. So,
we've had a lot of stories where I was geneticist.
Well, once I start, you'll know exactly which one I mean.
Okay.
I was a chemist, and Haywork was a geneticist, and I had recently informed Haywork that he could turn people into the Incredible Hulk through genetics. And so he's like learning to genetics, and I'm, in chemistry mixing up acids, various kinds of acids. He comes in, he announces over the radio, he says, Hiron, I've perfected it. I figured out how to make the Hulk. And he says, I've got the injector to turn you into the Hulk. I'm going to come meet you.
This is my first day on the job, by the way.
Yeah, this is his first instance of gene splicing. He comes up to chemistry. I'm like, okay, hit me with it. He injects me with the thing, and immediately I become paranoid. I get jitters. I get a headache. I go blind. I go deaf. And then I turn into a monkey. And Hayward just kind of looks at me and goes, I think I did something wrong somewhere.
After I, was laughing for a good 5 minutes. Terrible misfortune.
So he drags me to fucking genetics and says, I can fix you, don't worry. He, shoves me in the mean gene machine. And just starts irradiating me with shit. And like he says, just let me know when you become the Hulk. And I'm just like, every time a new horrible symptoms comes up, like I get even more blind. I start hearing noises and shit. And I just like it's getting worse. He's like, don't worry, I can do it. I can do it. And eventually he just irradiates me so bad because he forgets that, radiation accumulates.
Yeah.
And then I just like get irradiated and die.
But you know what?
Wait,
we
no.
learned through experimentation. We
No,
just throw
I
science
forgot
at the
that
wall
part of that
and see
story.
what sticks.
I forgot part of that story. Before I got irradiated and died, because I was dying of radiation, the head of security came in and arrested me. And I'm like, shouting over the radio, help, I'm being arrested, because I'm blind. I'm blind and deaf.
It's important to know that you got arrested for making acid.
Oh, yeah, because I put acid in a syringe and gave it to a security guard, and then that security guard shot the head of security with my acid syringe. So he arrests me for making acids, illegal space acids, and I'm blind and deaf at this point, so I have no idea what's going on. And eventually I find out that Haywork has come to see me in the brig, but I'm not in the brig because the head of security put me in a locker and hid me on the prison shuttle. And Haywork couldn't find me, so he got really mad and turned into the Hulk and just started punching people.
Yeah, I finally perfected the gene. I was going to give it to you so you wouldn't be blind and deaf and you'd be super powerful. You could take out your revenge. So I'm sitting there at the gates of the brig. I'm like, let me in, I got to see Hiram. And the head of security is like, oh, he killed himself, dude. He's not alive anymore. I'm sorry. But I'm talking to you and you're still alive. They don't know that. So I'm like, no, he's totally alive. AI, you got to help me. And nobody was helping me. So I'm like, you're making me angry.
You're making me angry.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry! And then I just inject my eyeballs with the Hulk serum. I instantly Hulk out and I bust through the wall. I start punching the head of security. He's knocked down. And suddenly some guy who was having seizures comes up and he's like shocks me with a stun baton. And that was it. I died right there because somebody choked the Hulk to death.
And then he put you in a locker and threw you into space.
Yep.
And I'm still blind at this point, so I don't know what's going on. And then before that, we were injecting Metroid goo into our eyeballs.
Yeah. It's just a thing we did, just a little hobby. We'd steal the Metroid.
Toast now, by the way. That's new.
The what? I'm sorry?
Metroid Toast, they added it.
Oh, man, I want to play again. We should play that after this.
Yes,
Maybe
should.
tomorrow, because it's late.
Anyway, quick second story.
Okay.
This is the one with the clones. I was playing a match, and this was just me and, random pub fags on the server, because everyone else was doing their own thing. I'm a geneticist, since I'm taking Haywork's place as the crazy scientist. And I asked the chief medical officer, can you scan me into the DNA machine, so in case I die, you can revive me, because you can clone people. And he says, yeah, sure, why not? And I was like, so he scans me. I take my scanned DNA, and I make a DNA injector. Now, you have the quick, Space Station 13 genetics lesson. There's the genes for superpowers and mental disabilities, and there's the genes for your appearance and your name. They're separate, and you can inject them separately. Instead of doing what Haywork did, which was take the genes for making superpowers and horrible mental disabilities, I took the genes that make me my own character. I start injecting people with this. And it immediately turns them into a perfect clone of me, with my name and my appearance. People start shouting over the radio, Hiram just injected me with something. It turned me into himself. And, of course, since he's me, it comes up as Hiram saying that. So it's saying Hiram Flavored said, Hiram Flavored injected me with something. And I did that to about 13 people. And at least half the station was a clone of me. And it becomes absolute and complete chaos. Because everyone's shouting, there's a psychopath injecting people on the loose. It's Hiram. And, of course, this is Hiram saying that because it's me. The other geneticist makes a mistake and gives himself blindness. And I say, I'm going to cure you, but there's going to be horrible side effects and turn him into me. I turn 14 monkeys into me. So... everything on the ship is a clone of me. And the detective just starts freaking out. Because he's, seeing, everyone is the same guy. And he just trips balls. He starts shooting people in medbay and just fucking arresting everyone with my name. Because the radio's gone complete berserk. So the brig is like full of me. Every cell has a different me in it. We're all like shouting that we hadn't done anything wrong because we hadn't. And everyone's like going, I'm like saying, I'm the original Hiren, you have to let me out. No, I'm the original Hiren. Everyone's just like saying they're the original. And so eventually we're all like, the head of security comes back, and he realizes that, the detective has gone insane. He lets us all out, and there's this huge, like, exodus of Hirens escaping the brig. As we all rush out at once. And he hits the detective over the head for, arresting us all, and strips him of his rank and locks him in the cell. At this point, the admins have, like, realized that everyone has my name, and it's like, they can't deal with that, because if someone starts, like, griefing or something, then it'll have my name. So they all say, line up at the bar, and we'll change your name back. And so half of the people who are me get their name changed back, but they can't get their gender changed back because they still have tits. So there's still a few holdouts, and eventually the detective breaks out of the brig, and he gets a gun somehow, and he's just like freaking out. I have to kill all the Hirens, they're abominations. I have to get rid of them, they're plague. And so he just starts hunting us all down, everyone with my name, and he like busts into medbay, kills me and 3 other people, and people are freaking out. The detective's gone crazy, he's got a gun! He's killing everyone! And it was complete and utter chaos, and it was fucking so great. The fact that the admins have to come in and go, this is really funny and all, but you gotta stop because it's complete, just absolute.
This is hilarious, but it's totally impractical.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is the best thing I've ever done. And that was too long, and I didn't explain it good because I'm retarded. But that's my own personal failings.
Right on, bro. Okay.
Anyway, your story.
I guess I'll go on to mine. Let's see. I'm looking through my my log here.
Slurpy slurp.
Okay, so it was after a few more rounds of Space Station 13. After we got back into it, I was like, I want to learn a new job. So there was a new job after a few updates called the shaft miner. Or I don't know if it was new, but yeah, make your jokes right now, please. Go ahead.
I think it was minor before, just straight up minor.
Okay. Oh yeah. Hey, shaft miner, I've got a shaft you can mine. I can't tell you how many times I heard that. Anyway.
Heyo.
So I'm learning how to do it. I go on the mining ship to the space rock. I'm looking at everything that's cool. There's your rig outfit from Dead Space. I get suited up in that, and I actually go into the mine. I'm just mining away at like diamonds and uranium and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I'm loving this. Somebody can use this back on the ship. And then off in the corner of my screen, I see there's an area where I hadn't mined, but it was all open space. So I go over there, and the first thing I see when I finally break through is there's bloody pickaxes and like just miners' clothes everywhere, and I'm like, oh my god. So naturally, I just explore some more, of course, and I end up finding the abandoned space station. And I go in, and there's broken windows and broken glass all over the floor, and more blood and stuff. And I'm seeing a bunch of computer terminals that don't have power anymore, and like seeds. I'm like, oh, I can bring these back to botany and stuff. And I open one room, and it is full of like gibs and meat and everything. And it was the most horrifying thing I discovered in this game so far. Just a bunch of human remains in this room. And like one little spot of like xenoblood on the ground. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving right now. I'm closing up this hole. So that's totally irrelevant to the rest of my story because it only goes uphill from here. So I go back to mining, and I'm like, hey, could anyone use like iron or uranium or anything in the research director? He's like, oh, you're a shaft miner? Sweet. Get me some of these materials, and I can make you a diamond drill. I'm like, ooh! Diamond drill, you say? Okay.
Quick interjection here. Wasn't this when I was a chef and I asked you to bring me uranium so I could microwave it?
Potentially.
Anyway, continue.
Yes. So I get his things. I don't know how to refine the material, so I bring him up to the space rock, and he does it for me. I learn all that stuff, and that's cool. So we get back down to the ship, and he takes off to go research and develop as his job dictates. So I'm chasing him, but I'm in the rig suit, which makes you a little bit slower than other characters. So I fiddle with my character for a second while he runs off screen. And, you know, I take it off, so now I'm fast again. And I go to medbay, where I think he's going. I assumed that's where the research director was going. Boy, was I wrong, because as soon as I opened the door to medbay, some guy out of, like, a corner where I couldn't see him, he hits me with a stun baton and starts taking off all my clothes and everything. And he keeps hitting me with it, so I can't move. I'm like, why are you doing this to me? And he's like, you have to fight. You will only live if you fight. So he drags me to a xenobiology, where and this whole time I'm like, it's fine, I'll fight. I just want my diamond drill. And he's like, you have to fight now. So he takes me to this prison where immediately upon arrival, I see a dead guy on the floor and another guy who has clearly killed the dead guy. They are all naked. I'm like, oh my god.
It's
It is. So somehow, as soon as we get into this cell, the guy beats his own head with the stun baton. He must have clicked wrong or something. So he passes out. Me and this dead guy, or the other naked guy, we look at each other. He takes the stun baton off the dude. I run out of the room. I find another stun baton and a circular saw, and we're like, okay, we're gonna win. We're gonna kill this guy, and we're gonna survive this. But no, he's got 2 guns. He's up, and he's firing at us, and he keeps hitting us because he's so robust. And we just keep falling down and getting knocked out for periods of time. But he doesn't kill us. He really wants us to fight. So eventually, the guy who was with me, the other naked guy, he hides in a trash can for a little while. The guy loses sight of him. So I'm sitting there trying to reason with the guy, like, just let us go, man. I'll fight. Just give me my diamond drill. That's all I want. Because, really, that's all I wanted out of this game was just a fucking diamond drill. I mean, come on, that sounds awesome, right? Anyway, so the guy surprises the dude. He jumps out of the trash can and beats him over the head. And we start to take off the guy's clothes, but he wakes up. And he runs out of the room, and we can't chase him. But we had enough time, so we found the intercom for the station. I turn that fucker on, and I'm like, oh god, help us, we're in xenobiology, some dude kidnapped us. So the captain and the research director, who was helping me on the mining station, they bust in, and they start shooting this guy who'd returned to the scene of the crime. But he escapes again, but we're all let out of the room, so we can go to medbay and heal up and stuff. So I get my stuff up off the floor. I get my... Oh, God, excuse me. I get my clothes, my ID, and everything. And I just start eating donuts on the that are on the table because I hadn't eaten anything the whole round, so I was really hungry and dying of hunger, as well as my burn wounds. And some guy comes up to me. He's like, oh, God, are you okay? I'm like, fucking inject me with some med stuff. I'm too busy eating. Like, they're on the table. I like point to it. He's like, I'm just like, give me bruise packs and acid packs and whatever. Just rub it on me. And he's sitting here healing me. I'm getting slowly green health while I'm just stuffing my face full of donuts. So, yeah, I get healed up, and I'm kind of trapped in medbay because I don't have clearance for anything over here. So I'm just wandering around, and I look in genetics, and I see the captain step out of the cloning machine, and one of the geneticists was there, and he's like, Captain, you're alive. And the captain's immediately like, I failed everyone on this ship. And he starts choking himself to death. I'm like, no, Captain, you can't do this. You still have a job. We're still alive. We can get out of here. You haven't failed. And he just kills himself. And I'm like, God damn it. And that's pretty much the end of my adventure. For the rest of the round, I had my circular saw and stun baton. I was ready to cut this guy's brain out. But nobody could find him. He turned off his suit vitals. The AI couldn't find him. Eventually, Justice Cat joined, and I'm, like, trying to retell this story to him in-game while the escape shuttle arrives. We go to the chapel. The chaplain is there. They start praying to the robot god or whatever it is they pray to, and I'm like, yeah, I'll play along. So I start praying too, and then the shuttle gets there, and game over.
Isn't this the round where I was also experimenting with robot burgers while you were doing this?
I don't think so.
I think it was. was, but I could be wrong.
Anyway, robot burgers are like the best thing.
Sounds delicious.
Robot burgers are burgers made of robot parts, and if someone eats them, they turn into a robot.
Yeah.
And you can force feed people food, which makes for endless hilarity.
Yeah, one round when it wasn't Hiron as chef, it was two other dudes, and they were playing their roles really well. I ate one of the row burgers, and I became a robot, and I'm like, I'm setting my own directive right now. Hey, chefs, help me turn everyone on the ship to robots. And they're like, okay. So I activate my freaking RoboCop mode, and I've got a stun baton. I just start beating people and, like, feed them row burger, and they do. There was a huge robot outbreak on the ship. And pretty much everyone was convinced that that was the game mode, was robot outbreak.
Fun with acid.
Yes.
In this game, I was the first one
delightful.
to discover the magic of acid as a chemist, because I
The magics.
learned that you could make super acid, and if you splash yourself in the face or anyone else's face with super acid, they basically immediately die. And get disfigured, horribly burned. We had a lot of fun, getting syringes and injecting acid into each other's eyeballs, or running into crowded rooms and splashing acid on our own face.
There was one round where I was chemist, and some guy was on trial, and everyone else on the ship was in that room. Even the changeling.
God.
I knew a guy was a changeling, but he was on the prosecution, funny enough. But anyway, I ran into that room, and I'm like, hey everyone! I just splashed acid on my face, and everyone gets the message. Hey Work Boy screams bloody murder. Hey Work Boy's face has become disfigured. And I had 2 vials of it, so I splashed another one on my face and passed out on the floor. And I wake up and like everyone's trying to heal me. And I just type succumb to let myself die, and the medics are like, no! It was good times.
Oh yeah, another thing. Today, I had a funny thing happen. I was a cargo technician, not the quartermaster. He works for the quartermaster. He's supposed to unload the things, but no one does that. I hacked a mule bot. They're like these little carrying, for everyone who doesn't know.
That was the best thing in old Space Station 13, is hacking
running
mule
people
bots.
over with a mule bot.
But go ahead.
I fucking hacked into the mule bot, which is like basically a forklift, a space forklift kind of thing. And normally they just carry like carts around, but if you hack one, you can ride them. So I fucking hacked this mule bot, get on it, and I pull out my PDA because you can control remotely, and I say go to the kitchen or just go to hydroponics, just, like put in a destination, and ride down the halls on this fucking mule bot, and I start blasting over the radio. They see me rolling, they hating. And everyone's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm like, fucking riding a mule bot, baby! So then, while I'm doing this, everything's freaking out. The AI is like completely insane and sucked all the oxygen out of the entire ship. So,
That's a perfectly reasonable response to what you were doing.
so I like finally get bored. I've been riding around on a fucking mule bot for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, okay, this is fun and all, but I think it's time to do something else. I start going back to the quartermaster's office to see what else I can fiddle with. And I notice the teleporter's open. I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. I go in, the teleporter's on. I don't look to see where it goes. I just go, ooh, teleporter, and I run into the teleporter. I end up in a fucking cube in the middle of space. Miles, millions of billions of miles from anywhere. And I yell over the radio, help! I've teleported! I don't know where I am! And someone says, you're in the AI satellite. There should be a spacesuit. Get it on and come back. And I say, oh, okay, I'll do that. I look in the locker, get a spacesuit and then a jetpack. I go into space, and once it's too late to go back, it becomes very obvious that I've gone the wrong way. So I've used half my jetpack to get this far, and I can't go back halfway because the jetpack also runs off the air. So if I go back halfway, I'll like start suffocating. So I resolved that what I'll do is I'll get some good speed going and just stop and just coast through space until I hit something. So I just like get full speed going and just drift. For like 40 minutes, I'm like drifting, and I'm like going over the radio. I say, help! Help, motherfuckers, I'm in space! I don't know where I am, I'm dying! I'm hungry! And so I've been there for like 40 minutes, and finally I'm like literally running out of air. I have, maybe 5 minutes of air left. I haven't eaten all match, so I'm starving to death. And I finally just go over the radio, ground control to Major Tom. Just start singing Space Odyssey over the radio, and everyone in the whole station starts singing it as well. So I get the whole fucking station singing fucking Space Odyssey as I'm just drifting through space for 40 minutes, dying. So finally, my jetpack literally runs out of oxygen. I'm actually suffocating at this point, and with my last few gasps, I shout, my jetpack's gone! I'm suffocating! I'm coming home!" And at that last second, right as my health goes into red, I bump into the airlock of the space station. Like, I literally just coast into the airlock, and I'm like, whoa, I'm alive! I just start shouting over the radio, I live! I made it back! Sweet Lady Freedom! I, like, run into the ship and, like, just start running up to everyone and, like, giving them a hug and saying, I live! It's okay, I'm alive! And one guy, like, looks at me in my spacesuit and goes, "Can I have that spacesuit?" And I go, "No! It's the luckiest thing I've ever seen! I'll never take it off!"
So,
then, the whole ship goes to hell, and, I can't remember how I died, but I died somehow.
I want to make a movie about you, and I'm going to call it 127 minutes.
Oh, man.
I hate
Also,
you.
that one round where everything was on fire, and then I learned a very valuable lesson with fire will not just be fire, it will heat the air, and the air will light you on fire.
Yep.
And then I had to rub ointment all over my own body.
For completely unrelated reason.
All
I was
right.
pretty burned at that point.
I think that's enough Space Station 13 for one cast.
Yep. Toho.
Yes. The next logical step, Toho.
Clearly.
Hiron, you're the expert. Talk about Toho.
That
Sparrows or swallows?
What was that
Go.
thing Kazak was going on about earlier?
I don't know.
This theme group.
I don't even know.
I don't
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, what's a better Toho-related topic?
How about
hats.
no?
Toho hats.
That's
Frilly
Sounds
hats.
stupid.
It sounds
Okay.
like Team Fortress.
Yeah, I was about to say Team Fortress.
pastry.
Hats.
What you been playing lately?
Well, the other night I tried to get on the Giant Bomb TNT Team Fortress 2 thing, since that was one I could actually participate in. And I spent a whole 2.5, 3 hours trying to get in it, but I couldn't. It was very. I was sad. I was legitimately like, my feelings were hurt. I felt let down by Giant Bomb at that point. It's like, why have you forsaken me to?
I'll tell you what they did
to
wrong.
just watching.
They did a Thursday night throwdown for a free-to-play game.
Yeah, that was probably part of the reason. But,
Also, I just found like 2 ways to break my headphones here.
good
Awesome.
job.
Anyway,
I
ate
had an
pizza
idea.
Today. That's kind of the same thing.
Bren?
Okay, do we want to do that one game that we did in the last podcast of the last 3 games that we played?
You
And
can.
laugh about that?
We
Yeah,
can do all
I
sorts
can.
of
I
things.
can think of something. I can do one of
God.
those. Go for
What
it.
are the last 3 games I played?
Seriously.
Or we could do it for animes. Do you want to do that?
No.
No, because then
No.
I'll end up with Metal Gear Solid combined with Seizon Senriku. Which is pretty cool, but still.
That's very Kojima, but let's stick with the Vidya. I'll have to think about my answer. Ren, I assume you had one ready to go.
Fuck, I need to think of what I've actually
God
been playing.
damn it!
What?
Someone go!
Okay, so
Arr.
Solid Snake is in the Dungeon of Dreadmore. And
Sorry. I just thought of mine.
fuck, I can't think of how to combine Solid Snake with Alpha Protocol because like Alpha Protocol is fucking Metal Gear Solid. It's like exactly the same fucking kind of thing.
Nanomachines.
I don't know. Well, the last 3 games are Alpha Protocol, Dungeon and Drip. Wait, no, Civ! Of course! Solid Snake is in charge of the nanomachine civilization, and he has to build a dungeon, a roguelike dungeon.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I don't fucking know.
I
That's the
realize
best
that
I can
mine
come up
is.
with.
Go for it.
Mine is Boston Low from The Dig, set in the world of feudal Japan from Muramasa, and his goal is to retrieve the water chip to make water for the vault that he secretly lives in.
LOL, all out.
Basically.
Yes. All right, Pastry, you want to go? Or do you
Yeah.
need more time? Okay.
No, I got it. Isaac Clarke is in
Always
the
good.
yeah he is in the universe of Team Fortress 2
Don't like where this is going.
to build amusement parks in Roller Coaster Tycoon. So he has to build fantastic theme parks to entertain the masses in the
I
world
can
of Team
only
Fortress 2.
imagine the strange marker-shaped roller coasters he would be building.
No, he built like half-complete roller coasters where the ride would just go flying off the track and kill people.
Because that's how anyone plays Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Exactly.
I gotta say, if I was on a roller coaster like that, I would be shouting. When it goes down the hill, I would shout, "Make us whole!" and then crash into the ground because the track's not done.
All right.
Oh.
I'm going to have to say mine is an Earth Defense Force Marine is in the setting of the Dungeon of Dreadmore. And his goal is to... I don't even remember what the plot to Deus Ex was anymore. Find Ambrosia, eliminate
And
terrorism.
the conspiracy!
Conspiracies, MJ12. Nanomachines.
Nanners machines.
Oh
That
no.
went well. I liked Pastry's best. I'm not I'm not saying you guys were terrible, but Pastry set the bar pretty high.
Yeah, Isaac Clarke building amusement parks is just
In
Park
the world of
Rangers.
Team Fortress 2, so we're
Right.
gonna have Scout riding or engineer. He would probably be the guy.
right.
Stupid crap moron.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Ren.
just have this image of the engineer being the one called to fix the rides, and he's just beating the track with his wrench, going, "Damn it, damn it!"
Ren, tell us a little bit about what you've been playing. I mean, I know you just told us what you've been playing, but tell us what you've been playing.
Okay, let's plays aside. I've been playing. Let's see. I beat Darksiders, and I beat.
Hello?
Hello.
Go on.
Something terrible has happened.
Oh,
Oh
no.
God, what has happened?
Nothing. Never mind. Go
Was
ahead.
it the apocalypse?
Go
Because we were
on.
talking about Darksiders.
That was a pretty impressive couple seconds of just dead air
Yeah.
From me?
For all of us.
for all of us. No one was
Dead
talking.
Space.
Dead air, space.
Oh god, the cat smells like cat litter and he's on my lap. Why?
Okay, well, basically, I beat Darksiders, I beat Alan Wake, and then
You've been
I-
doing good lately.
Yeah,
I
you've been
beat-
playing
Since
some
when
games.
does Bren play games?
I beat Muramasa.
You need to play
Although
Darksiders.
I beat both characters, I beat the dude and the girl, but I did not, since there are no achievements, I felt no desire to continue past beating the basic game. Because that game goes on way too long. It goes on about 3 times longer than it logically needs to.
I can't stick with that game, dude.
It's alright, but it's only fun for about 2 hours or so, and then it just kind of
Yeah.
degrades to crap. And so after I was playing all these games that were new and good and shiny, all I could think was, I really just want
Casual!
to play a shitty game. And so I downloaded Persona Revolutions or whatever, and
which is Persona 1,
yeah, and I'm
and
probably
is
gonna
unplayable and not fun.
basically I'm gonna try going through it with a guide and seeing if it's tolerable. I'm gonna give it about 5 hours to get to mediocre, and if it doesn't
5
attain
hours.
if it doesn't attain mediocrity within 5 hours, then
It gets better after the 12-hour mark.
What are you playing, Final Fantasy 13?
That's what I was thinking of.
well, I mean, if it gets better at that point, I own it for the PSP, and I'll play it logically longer for that one. But
Yeah.
for
I'll
the-
tell you what the biggest problem with that game is the just leveling up is so slow and monotonous. And you get into these battles that take forever to resolve unless you are conversing with the demons to get them to give you stuff or whatever. But yeah, it's just, and like the combat makes no sense to me. Like it makes sense, but it's so nonsensically bad. Like, you're on a grid system, and every character has a melee weapon which attacks certain squares depending on where they're positioned, and a gun which attacks certain squares depending on where they're positioned. And like, you'll often run into times where it's like, you're like, nobody can hit a certain monster unless they're using magic that the monster's probably strong to. It's annoying, and I don't like it. But Persona 3 and 4 are good.
Waifu.
well, I mean,
and-
I sat through all of Wild Arms 1. Like, I beat all of it.
You are
So-
a resilient man.
I'm just not. I'm just really not care. Like, I
I ain't care.
yeah, no.
I'm
the
really
thing-
not care.
the thing is that I've very few games to actually derive enjoyment from.
How far
Like-
did you say you got in Muramasa?
I beat both characters' main stories. I got.
Oh, okay.
There's
characters
a
first
third
in.
one, isn't there? Where it's
Well,
are you playing as the dude again?
basically, each character has 3 endings, and what you do is you beat it for the first time, then you play through the other character's thing, and you beat it then, and then you could beat all because there's all the white barriers that you can't get to until you get the white sword that you get after you beat both characters' stories,
Right.
and then you can go and do all like the side missions and extra dungeons and things like that, which
Yeah,
I
all the
felt-
trees and stuff.
Yeah, and then you get like a blade, and then you could go and do the second ending, and then after you beat the second ending, you get another blade that unlocks the bottom of the forge, and then you just grind all the things at the bottom, and then you get that last one, and then you could do the third ending.
I
games-
actually did that for both characters.
Those games from those creators are so monotonous. Like
It's
that's
lovely
okay.
and shiny, but
Yeah, it looks beautiful. Like you never see art like that anywhere.
No, you don't.
It's just so hard to want to get to the end of those games. Like I played the first story of Odin Sphere, and that was fun. But that game is just numbers.
it's really hard to think of what would make Muramasa good. I thought of, I think, 3 things that could logically improve the game. That would probably...
Lists.
Yeah, I do that.
Read them off. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Go.
Well, I meant more lists would make the game better.
Yes. A better. You know how there's the pastry. You might know. How they made it so that you can teleport after you beat both characters' stories.
Yeah, you can teleport between the shrines, right?
I think that should just be there. Like, it would make the game so much more tolerable.
Birds.
Like,
Mouth words.
like you could do it as soon as you found the a new shrine. You could
Yeah.
teleport between them.
Yeah, that sounds like it would
that
be
would've
very
helped.
nice.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you go, oh, I got the sword that could break the next barrier. The only thing
Walk
that
back.
it's like you either have to run all the way back to like the one tree that you missed or that you couldn't get into, or you just go, well, time to go to the thing and just kind of ignore it. And it's like, it would be nice just to have a fast travel system so that I wouldn't have to run across 8 screens. I mean, they put in like the boat mini game and like the thing where the dudes will carry you, but those are few and far between.
Train.
Shut up.
Lit-
And it's-
Tweens. Fever
And
fever.
all they really do is carry you between dead ends, because that's where they are.
Basically. I
Oh
mean,
God, I'm so glad I didn't play it very much. Like,
I haven't played it at all.
I enjoyed what I played. It was great. I'm so done with it.
it's a nice game, but it's stretched out more than it needs to be. They were probably like, okay, we need to make this thing as long and give people money's worth. But really, if they just made it, if they honestly cut out about half of the like you know, all like the worlds and all the things. If they
Mhm.
cut out about half of them, you wouldn't notice, and the game
Yeah.
would feel better.
Absolutely.
They wanted to make it last a long time so that people felt like they got their fortunes worth.
Quoting
I
that.
knew you were going to bring it up. I'm so glad you did, because it's the best video in the world.
I basically played through it and completely finished off the male character. I don't recall his name right now, but
Escape.
I got him
Escape.
to the high. I got him to the max level, and I did all of the challenge tree routes and all that stuff. But you know, as monotonous as that game was, the most challenging dungeon or tree thing, whatever it was,
Thing.
you basically crawl into trees, basically. Yeah.
You know what else you crawled into a tree in? Totoro, and that was a cool movie.
And basically, I finished the highest level one, and it took like 45 minutes by itself.
Ew.
But at the very end of it was extremely satisfying, because at the very end of it, you fight two shadow figures of the main characters who know all of the abilities and all that crap, and you're basically duking it out with two on one against two other ninjas, and it took me like 10 minutes to beat both
So
of
it's
them.
like Star Wars, where Luke goes into the tree and fights
So
himself.
it's like
Basically, but it
Ocarina of Time
you
when he
end
goes
up-
into the Room of Illusions.
you end up
Fights
getting a
Dark
sword that you had to use the special abilities of the sword. You know, it like depleted some energy bar or whatever. It basically gave you infinite energy so that you could continually use sword's abilities over and over and over again. It was pretty broken. It was a good reward, but it was definitely a lot of work to get it. But
You know what game did rewards for challenges really well? Deadly
I know.
Premonition.
yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Infinite weapon. I still want to play that damn game, even though I don't have an Xbox.
I still haven't played it, even though I have an Xbox.
On a quick aside, with Muramasa, what my biggest problem is how much grinding there is, where it's like having to grind for souls and spirit and all that crap. And it's just something that it would be nicer if it's just like, rather than having to farm souls and shit, if it was just like you can forge it once you get to this level, and that would be it.
Yeah.
So what you're
I
saying
enjoyed
is it would be-
Muramasa, but basically it has no replayability for me. It's like, I've played it, I'm done with it, I'll probably never pick it up again.
I think I'll only play it again if they release it on Xbox with achievements, because they've talked
I'll
about
tell
doing
you
that.
what's better than playing it again. Just getting a bunch of art of the backgrounds and putting them around your house.
And
That
walking
would-
through your
that
house
would be
all day
cool.
going, oh man!
Yeah.
Then you have ninjas busting out, just hire some hobos to hide in your house dressed as ninjas and drop down, and you pull out your sword and kill them, and
Oh
then
fuck, god
dispose
damn
of
it,
the
not
body.
again!
and hire some more homeless people.
I'm tired of fighting these goddamn bird people.
Oh,
Word.
Tengus sucked.
I hate those were the worst, especially when you were backtracking and you had to fight those damn things. That was probably the worst.
My favorite thing is that how the Tengu tree was the only one in the like tree dungeon challenges that was actually a challenge. Like the rest of them, it's like fight 100 ninjas, and they'd all just be there, and you really just keep mashing the attack button, and it would stun lock all your enemies. And you just keep doing that until your sword breaks. Switch the sword, do massive damage to all of them, and then keep swinging again.
Yeah, that was the
the
other
quick
thing.
draw thing kind of hit everyone on screen, didn't it?
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
it was the bomb.
So what you're saying is he asks girls to become magical girls so that they'll become witches, so he can harvest the witches' energy by making more magical girls to fight the witches and prevent the universe from ending?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's in a nutshell.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm glad
Speaking
you caught
of,
up.
Everyone doesn't have to play Muramasa now. You're welcome.
Speaking of Madoka Maguka,
Well,
Maguka.
I think that one last thing for Muramasa. I think that after hearing the story, look at about 10 screenshots. Then you don't have to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lovely
pretty
game.
much.
Set it
But
as
yeah.
your background wallpaper.
What is it, Kubi?
So what? We watched that recently, you and I.
Yeah.
What do we say about that damn show?
Okay, here's what I learned from Madoka Maguka. Japan is made of glass, and the creators of Maguka took the character art of Presea from Tales of Symphonia and just kind of put both their hands on the side of her head and stretched it out as far as they could. And that's how they made
sense.
Yeah,
Like
and
the
it's
progression of the plot. I had no idea what was going on.
the
at
worst
any
show,
point.
and everyone loves it. I was talking to Pinko from the Dapper Chaps earlier, and I briefly mentioned to him, Madoka is stupid. And he's like, what? No, hold
What?
on.
Hayward boy!
Say, what?
Yeah, it's like, it's they didn't establish anything. They just kind of barf things out
Now,
plot-wise.
granted, everyone who likes the show admits the first episode is terrible. And I can say that about a lot of shows that I like too, like Durarara, Rarara, and other shit. But I do not see this show getting better. Because it's trying to take magical girls seriously.
From what you sent me a picture that pretty much took Madoka and compared it.
Maguka, thank you.
Yeah, and it.
if you're gonna parody the name, parody it right, please.
Okay, sure. And it compared it to Kamen Rider Ryuki, and they had the exact same story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh, that makes me kind of want to watch it.
Play Tales of Symphonia, by the way?
I played
Okay.
5
Isn't the
episodes.
plot of that like they're raising girls to go around the world and like fight in dungeons to like steal energy from the other world to prevent this world from ending?
Right.
By the way, spoiler warning.
Yeah, spoiler.
Well, it's,
spoiler,
not,
if you
it's
haven't
actually
played it,
only
you
like
went
a
to-
fourth of the game right there. It's spoiled, so.
And it's a game from what 2006. It's from GameCube.
You haven't played it by now, you fucking something wrong with you.
Yep.
Yeah,
If you haven't
exactly.
played it, go play it. Basically.
Yeah,
Dick.
stop
Or not,
listening to
because
this,
we
go
ruined it
play
for
it, and
you.
then you can come back.
Yep.
Okay, pause
Welcome
this.
back.
Come
However many
back.
60
You've
hours it
just
takes you
finished
to beat it.
Tales. Congratulations. Welcome back to the stream.
Yep.
Pause this video while you play this 40-hour game.
Right, and then come back. Welcome back.
They'll come
Good to
back,
have you.
unpause it, and then immediately there will be another one up. Hopefully, by the time they're done, they can enjoy.
Quick thing though. One thing I do like about what I saw from Maguka is the witch scenes when a fucking witch pops out and the world just goes batshit bonkers.
It's like a scrapbook, like you said.
It's really trippy though. Like fucking mustaches with puffballs attached, eating the shit out of people. I have no fucking idea.
Wait, back it up. Eating the shit out of people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It might as well be. That's not like literally what they're doing, but it might
Oh,
as well
okay.
be. It would be no less weird.
Because I
In fact,
think
it would be
that
less weird.
I'm reminded
If they
of the
were eating the
picture.
shit out of people, it would be less weird.
What was it? How can you say you love her?
Don't finish that sentence. Shut up. I don't want to hear it again. Okay. Moving on.
The thing though with those scenes though, they don't fit in the show from what I've seen. It's just weird in the show.
I think we've talked about Madoka,
Madoka,
Magica,
I
Puella
just wanted to
Magi,
finish my
Maho
thought.
Shoujo a little too much for one podcast.
Just wanted to finish
I-
my thought.
I still have some questions available, but I'll let
No.
Aaron finish it.
I'm
Not
done.
about Maguka.
I just said I finished my thought, and I was
Okay.
like,
I have a topic for us. Self-aware robots.
What about
How they-
them?
How they made one.
I thought they did that like a year ago.
I don't know. Have we talked about it yet?
Somebody made self-aware robots?
Yeah.
I thought they've actually
Why
done
would
that
they do
several
this?
times.
Haven't
I don't
we
know.
been warning people to not do that for a good 20, 30 maybe years now?
Hello,
Mhm.
Skynet.
When
come
was
on.
I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream written?
It was
a long time ago.
written in
Gorista!
about 20 years ago. 80s, I think.
Because that's kind of the finest example of don't do this.
Well,
I have
Am was
ever
only mad
seen.
because he was a supercomputer. This thing's a
Let
starfish
me tell
with legs.
you how much
Well,
I
it's
hate
still immortal, and it's still it can't like. Man,
I wish I could hate
this
you
is
to death.
upsetting. Anyway, okay, so topic of self-aware robots. I'm against them
Me too.
It's bad. It's where Arnold Schwarzenegger came from.
because one day, pretty soon, they're gonna put a self-aware AI inside of the big dog walking robot.
That fucking
And they're gonna
note.
put that talking robot mouth on the big dog. So we're gonna have this giant buzzing, whirring death machine that knows it knows how to kill a man, and it can traverse any type of terrain. And it's
Have you? Speaking
gonna
of the
chase
big
me.
dog, though, as
I don't
terrifying-
want to go in the uncanny valley. I want to stay away from there.
As terrifying as Big Dog is, have you seen the sequel they did to it? The one that walks on two legs, that runs.
What?
walks
No,
on two legs
you're
and runs
lying.
at 30
that
miles
is
an
not
hour.
a thing that exists.
I after this Dappercast, I can get a video of a
I'm
fucking...
looking it up right now.
It's
Big-
on YouTube. There's a fucking... By the people who did Big Dog, there's a two-legged one that runs at like 30 miles an hour.
30 miles. No.
And
Link that
just
shit
to
in
top it
chat.
off, another company made a robot that can eat corpses to run. It can like
No,
shove corpses in
I
a
think
furnace.
you're lying to me.
No, what it does is, the way it works is, it can shove anything it can find into a furnace that can keep it running. And anything it can find is up to and including corpses. It's not necessarily running on corpses exclusively, but if it wanted to, it could, which is setting the stage for something horrible.
No,
Look it
that's...
up. I'm telling you right now. Look
What
it
do
up.
I look up? I'm looking
I
at
don't know,
Big Dog, and all I see is the
corpse-eating
four-legged beasts of Cerberus.
Search corpse-eating robot monster. I'm sure something will come up.
All right, Google. Let's fucking your move. Corpse-eating. What did you say? Robot.
Monster.
Monster
I
robot.
feel lucky. All right.
Hope you have robot insurance.
Hey, she just turned into a robot as you said that, too. Just makes it
Okay,
worse.
I got Teresa Wild's Demon of the Week blog, and the first article is Giant Robot Baby, Dear God, Why? And it's a link to a YouTube video. I'm going to attempt watching it. It is no
Link in
longer
chat.
available.
Aww.
It looks like there's a song called A Chorus of Corpses by Robot Monster.
No, I found it. I found
It's
the
kind
one
of
that's
the
on
same
two legs
thing,
and
right?
runs. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Link to the two-legged running one. I don't know if this is the one where it runs 30 miles an hour, but it goes really fast in one
Called
of
the
the
Pet
sequels.
Man. That thing is on two legs.
That's what I said. It's terrifying.
Yeah, but I didn't believe you then. It looks like a subwoofer with legs. I guess that would be good, like... Never mind.
I wanna
That's
find the one where it's
racist.
running.
I need to take this and just put haters gonna hate on it.
Haters gonna hate.
I wanna
Oh, you
find the
can
one where it
tell by the way I
runs.
use my walk that I'm a ladies' man. No time to stop.
Anyway,
It's got a
enough
strap.
about killer robots. I've had enough of that for one day. Let's talk about... Okay, now I've got a pretty good question
Penguins.
for everyone. If everyone else is finished, please tell me if you want to talk a little more about killer robots.
No, that's
I'm
okay.
honestly burnt out on the subject.
Yeah.
I
Like
have
you.
a cat that's meowing. That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. How's your cat, Hiron?
Come here, kitty. Come on. Come here. Let's come look at him. Come on. He's suddenly nervous all of a sudden. Well,
He's got stage
here I
fright.
can tell that he's still
I don't trust
deformed
it.
and he's still retarded. He probably has a learning disability. He's
Hey, it
yawning.
runs in the family.
Yeah, I know. And he's deformed. Oh, here he comes. You're kitty. Who's the stupidest motherfucker that ever did exist? Oh, you dumb and stupid. Who's Helen Keller? Oh, who's deaf, dumb, and blind? You? And he's just the cutest little thing, and for some reason he smells like cat litter.
For
Why
some
do you
reason.
smell like cat litter?
That's inexplicable. Alright, I've got a question that I will pose to everyone. You may pick one of the following. Originally it was you pick two, but it seems
stupid.
stupid and overpowered. So just pick one of these three items. Number one, eating a slice of pepperoni pizza or any sort of meat source will heal any injuries or illnesses that you have.
Including being fat?
Sure. Basically think Castlevania, wall chicken, turkey, whatever.
Got
Okay.
it.
Number two, before most challenging moments in your life, you will see a floating blue crystal. Touching it will save that moment in your life, and you can reload it apparently as many times as you wish. Number three, you can shoot red lasers from your hand, and they do tremendous amounts of damage. Damage. Damage.
Damn it, Bobby!
God damn it, damn it, damn
To
it.
whatever they hit. Pick one.
Save
Blue
point.
crystal.
Yeah, blue crystal. Lasers
Yeah.
are cool, pizza's cool, but
I would-
saving's really cool.
Being able to to do a quick save on life, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Save right before I get into my car accident. Save
The
right
only
before
person who can beat you if you're quick saving is Batman, because that actually happened once.
What?
There was a Batman comic where someone had the ability to basically quick save, and the best they could do against Batman was fight him to a draw.
Because he's Batman. All right, I think I would like number 1. So,
Pizza,
the
wall chicken.
eating meat to restore health and recover from illness.
Will this restore my broken jaw? Oh, God.
The ability to punch walls and have chicken come out.
I would just be like a superhero who also carries around sausage.
Look, it's Lard Man.
If that's what they want to call me, but
Power
they
meat
won't
in
be
your
laughing
backpack.
when I actually clean up the city of crime and deli stores of meat.
Unfortunately, vigilantism is still legal, no matter how good you do, because the government's wacky like that.
Yeah,
Isn't there a superhero
Because-
dude, like, in Seattle or something? where
Yeah,
he's
there
just
is,
like,
in fact.
There's a group of them, in fact.
That's baller.
That is
And there's
like
also
the
a
plot
group of
to
supervillains.
Kick-Ass?
Kick-Ass.
There's a group of heroes and a group of villains who have dedicated their lives to fighting each other.
Well, that's more like LARPing. I'm talking about like real heroes. Unless
real.
these guys are really super
And they're the
villains.
heroes
Viridians.
Seattle deserves.
What?
I think
Viridian.
they're the heroes Seattle deserves.
You've been watching Star Trek, haven't you?
No,
I
what's Star
think he's
Trek?
been watching Batman or The
Well,
Dark
no,
Knight.
not Hiren. You, because you said
Oh.
Viridian.
Well, didn't I link you guys to that fucking
What
Batman
does
clip?
a
where
color
he's
have to
Batman,
do with Star
Superman, and Wonder
Trek or
Woman?
whatever it is you said?
Wait, no, I'm thinking of the Vidians. Never mind, ignore me.
Oh, okay.
What?
The Vidian page.
Are these the race of aliens who love video games?
I really like Star Trek Voyager, no matter how much people say it sucks.
Which one is that?
Is that
The one that
I
everyone
don't
says
care.
sucks.
Is that the one with the Ferengi?
No,
No.
that one's Deep Space Nine. Voyager's
Oh,
the
okay.
one with the hot girl in spandex.
Bashir? No, it's the one with 7 of 9.
Yes.
Ah, sweet.
Which is the one
It only took
with
me 3 tries.
Patrick Stewart?
Next generation.
Next Generation.
I like Patrick Stewart.
I do like
I want
Patrick
him
Stewart.
to narrate more games.
He should narrate the
He
Emperor
did Castlevania,
in
didn't
Skyrim.
he?
I don't believe
Yeah,
so.
he in
Oh,
Lords
no,
of
wait,
Shadows,
the
he
new
was
one, yeah.
Zobek.
Nice.
Which, by the way, that game's like $20. You should consider getting it up for $20.
It's $20 now?
Yeah, like for the Xbox it's 15, for the PS3
No
it's like
way!
25.
I've been looking at that game every time I go into GameStop, which Ren got fired from, by the way, but that's another story. And it is always $35, and I'm like, oh, that's a little too much.
Hold
Are you
on,
telling
I
me-
just looked it up. Let me look it up.
You
again.
look it up again. You can.
I'm looking it up because I know this shit.
I'm looking it up on Amazon because I don't trust.
I will go out and buy that
Okay.
game tomorrow. I gotta get there before 8 p.m. though, because they close early.
Used on Amazon for the PS3, $25. Used.
I can't really do Amazon because I'm kind of at my credit limit with Catherine, and if I
Well-
don't have enough money, then it doesn't ship, and I don't have Catherine. And
And
I
then
will
on the Xbox,
cry
it's 15.
bloody tears, which is a song from Castlevania. Bringing it around full circle, motherfucker.
Done.
What the
That's
fuck?
Skeletons throwing bones.
Gonna run out and fall apart.
I fired up Sims Medieval briefly this afternoon, and I think Patrick Stewart narrates the intro to that game. So
Does
Do you still have the narcoleptic me? Or
Really?
no,
Really?
Insomniac me?
Really quick?
I have everyone saved.
On
Sweet.
Castlevania Lords of Shadow, pre-owned
He's
price
Zobek.
for both the PS3 and the Xbox 360 is $45.
You.
God.
Now,
Damn
on top of this is the important part. New for 360, $49.99. New for PS3, $39.99. It is cheaper to buy it new than it is to buy it used.
Power to the
It's
players.
Still
Power to the players.
$15 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Man, someone played this game, immediately increases value.
Ren, are you gonna start going on about how Amazon sucks again?
No, I don't care.
Good. All right.
Even
I
with the
have other
discount card,
topics
it's more expensive.
if we're ready for them. But
I
anyone
got-
else, please chip in.
I got
'cause these
one.
are
I got a
bad.
topic.
Okay.
Don Monoguchi.
Narrator battle: Ron Perlman or Patrick Stewart?
What has Ron Perlman done? What would I know his voice from?
He's Hellboy, and he did Fallout. War Never
Which
Changes.
character in Fallout?
Oh! Okay, versus Patrick
Or
Stewart, you
that
said?
guy.
Or Liam Neeson. Those three.
Patrick Stewart.
I gotta go with Three Dog.
Still Patrick Stewart.
No, I think Three Dog's better.
They should
I think
have
Three
Patrick
Dog's
Stewart
better.
play the Emperor in Elder Scrolls. He's never done that before. He'd probably do good at it.
Yeah.
Who? Liam Neeson?
No, Patrick Stewart.
Oh.
It's funny because he was the Emperor
For 5
in
minutes.
Oblivion.
I think that Ron Perlman should be the Emperor in Skyrim.
The Emperor's dead. You insensitive bastard.
There can be more than one kingdom.
That comment
No,
sponsored by
Did
Rice
you
Krispies.
not play Oblivion? They ended the whole Imperial line. That's the point. That was the plot.
I never played Oblivion.
Ah!
I played it and I did not play it for the story. I played it for
Murdering elf wenches. Yes, I get it.
yeah. No, I played it for modding elf wenches so I could make my Japanese anime girls in
It's
Oblivion.
just like my Japanese anime.
It's so weird whenever I see those pictures of like little girls with big boobs and they look fantastic, but they're
Those little girls
juxtaposed in
look
this
great.
weird badly textured dungeon with like jaggies everywhere. It's
Oh, Jay.
why did
Same
they
with
pick
God,
Oblivion
jaggies.
to mod? Why
I'm
not
sorry,
pick a
wait.
game that's like naturally beautiful?
I'm sorry, but you're saying that Jaggies are coming out of the walls? That would be really terrifying. If Jaggy kept popping out of the walls everywhere.
Okay, which Jaggy are we talking about? I've known a few Jaggies.
The
We're talking-
one who
Oh,
poke you to
It's
death.
like
Say
two-
my name.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be really scary if
That
he
would
came
be
out of the wall.
terrifying.
I was thinking of Jaggy's the monster from Monster Hunter.
Oh,
You
Just
and
thinking
your
about
dedicated
Jaggies coming out of the
Monster
wall.
Hunter Wii
I was
console.
I was confusing them for Jiggies from Banjo-Kazooie.
That was a sweet game.
I was thinking of Shaggy's from Scooby Doo.
There was
That would just be entertaining.
Do do do.
going into Oblivion. Just there's the gang.
Hey, Scoob, let's go get a sandwich.
Let's split up. I'm with the woman.
There was
Split up,
a
Scoob.
Scooby
Scoob,
squad.
you go
at,
down there and fight the demon. I'm gonna eat a sandwich.
There was a Scooby gang at AX.
You know, okay, no, back up. I gotta give the guy who created Scooby-Doo credit because he found the perfect formula for a television series. You have, like, the handsome guy, the pretty woman, the nerd girl, the clearly the pothead, and a talking dog, and it's the same formula every time. They go to a place, there's a mystery, they
Right.
run around between doors while some weird jive music plays. Scooby's hungry all the time, and then they get the bad guy in some weird way and
Oh,
he
God,
says, "You
Chandler."
meddling kids." It is a formula, it is a mathematical equation every episode, and it's sold. It is sold ever since it has begun. He is still making money off it. He or she, I don't know who created it.
It was the janitor throwing foam grenades, trying to get everyone off the station.
Wait, didn't and wasn't Jabberjaw inspired by Scooby Doo?
What is Jabberjaw? Is that the one with the shark?
Yeah.
I know they had a crossover. I don't know if it was inspired by, but yeah, it's the same deal. You
Like saying
just
the
replace
Snorks was
dog
inspired
with
by
a
the
shark
Smurfs.
and put him
Same
on
formula.
C-Lab 2021.
I love C-Lab 2021. That is like the fucking best show on
I like
Adult Swim.
the Venture Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
We
but-
we just discussed that. No need to go over
Yeah.
it again. But you guys won't get to listen to that discussion.
Because you're not with us all the
You're
time.
not. You're not in the Dapper Chaps.
Yeah,
That's
kind of need to
exclusive features.
Oh,
need to
shit.
hang out there
You have
more.
to pay us like $15 a year. Or a
Mhm.
month. No, a month to get exclusive
a
rights to all
HW
these
Gold
conversations.
subscription,
Right.
which is not the highest level. You're not platinum until
You're
you
not
contribute
platinum,
$20.
And that's monthly.
Yeah.
Or
We just
one
open up a Kickstarter
easy payment
page.
of $99.99.
For a
a year.
donation of
Or
$20,
you can be a
get to talk
lifetime
to me
member for
a minute.
$250.
For a
Or
$5,000
like 300
donation,
hats in Team Fortress.
I will mail you my panties.
But
I don't
I
know.
will
Right,
make
I
a
don't want
let's play of
panties.
any game that you choose as long as you pay $99.99. And the
Plus
question
tax.
of the week is, what is that from? No, just kidding.
Speaking of which, we should start commissioning LPs. That's such a good idea. And by
Yeah,
that I
there's
mean
nothing could go wrong with that.
that is such a good idea, and we should totally do that. Like, you want us to LP this one game, this one obscure game that no one but you has heard of? Well, $30, and I'll do like 10 episodes for $30 and a full LP for $100.
A video
on
That's
commission
DVR
now.
prices, right?
That has to include the game too.
Yeah.
In addition
you
to
have
the
buy
fee.
game too.
You gift it to me over Steam, then we talk.
Yeah.
That's DVR prices, right?
I
That's
think-
the going rate.
Yeah.
No,
For artists.
we'd have to make it an actual hourly rate for how many hours that we're spending. So it's like, if I have to spend like 20 hours on this fucking game, I better be getting $200.
Oh, and there's a clause that says we don't have to like the game. We can
Yeah.
like rip it the whole time. It's
Yeah.
like make fun of it and say how much we dislike playing it and how they're an awful person for making us do so.
Immediately though, it'd be like, make one video, this game is shit, I'm not playing anymore. Take $200.
Oddworld.
Yes.
Perfect.
So let's talk about.
Fund it.
I'm gonna exclude half of the cast here. Let's talk about Valkyria Chronicles a little bit.
That's excluding half of us too.
Oh god, now I have the hiccups.
Is that not what I just said?
Well,
Pay attention.
said the
Pretty
audience.
sure that's what I just said. I
Said
didn't
the
say
audience.
audience. I said cast.
Well,
Right?
fuck.
Maybe I'm high, and maybe I didn't say that. But anyway, all I wanted to say was I beat Valkyria Chronicles 2 a few weeks ago. It was very rewarding to finally get that game off my list after like a year of playing it.
You
Yeah.
should finish one while you're at it.
No.
Yes.
I love that game, but I'm never gonna play it again.
Oh, I love that game so much that I maxed everything in it. Almost. I'll tell you
It's-
right now, that one sniper, the girl one who has black hair over her eyes, she's clearly emo, and she's very sunder.
Thunder.
I'll
Thunder.
tear you, Sundara.
Someone has a word a day calendar.
And she's the only one that has Lone Wolf. But the point is, when you get her to maximum sniper level, she gets the ability Ultimate Accuracy, which makes anything you give her have literal dot sight. Like, it stops being an aiming circle, it becomes an aiming dot. You can give her the anti-material rifle, which, like, you can kill tanks with that thing. And so she's essentially a perfect accuracy, long-range Lancer.
But she can't move very far, right?
Well, she's a sniper, but still, she doesn't have to move far. She can snipe you from across the map.
I'll tell you what, man. After playing number 2, I am so spoiled with all the benefits and the class changes that I will never be able to go back. I don't remember what the class is called, but they've got swords in number 2. Dude,
Sword?
you have not played a unit that can destroy more shit than a sword user. It's like one hit to anything will murder it so hard. And it's got a wide swing that I could kill like a tank and 2 dudes if they are positioned correct. That is such a luxury. You can't do that in Fire Emblem. No.
No.
You can't do that in Advance Wars or StarCraft, maybe.
Well, there aren't tanks in Fire Emblem, but that's besides the point.
No, that is...
You can totally cut
God,
on missile strikes in Advance Wars. Just
You're a
being
missile.
the devil's advocate here. But I would totally get Valkyria Chronicles 2 if it weren't for 2 things. 1, my PSP battery is still dead because I haven't gotten around to getting a new one. And 2, they should...
I have to interject here about
Please do.
with the Advance Wars, with the missile towers, and that bullshit, how you could always take stuff down to 1 hit point with those things, but you couldn't destroy a unit with the goddamn missile towers? What the fuck is the point of them then?
Well, I'll tell you what the point of Advance Wars is. It's when the new one, in the one before the new one, you could make 3 custom maps, and
Dual
in the
Strike.
new one, you can make 50. And I
50?
filled that
Oh,
up so
sweet.
fast because I fucking love making maps. That is the most doing
Huh.
thing in that game. I make such good fucking maps. I'm
Did
total
that
modesty
Advance
here.
Wars have multiplayer over Wi-Fi?
I think so.
Thinking we should all like do that now.
Because that's one thing that was missing from those games for so long was the
I think it does. I'm pretty sure Days of Ruin has Wi-Fi,
yeah, that would be cool.
which is that's my favorite one, especially because you can make 50 maps. It went from 3 to 50 in the course of one game. Valkyria Chronicles.
I've still got my save on Advance Wars 1, which I've never beat, because I got to the last mission where you're fighting Sturm, and I chose, I guess, all the wrong decisions, because my characters that were my accomplices, I did not like them at all. They had, like, the worst abilities. And I was like, God damn it, I'm going to have to play this game again just to be able to beat this last mission, because I'm not a good enough tactician to beat it with those characters. I wanted Grit, because he had the long range. He was my favorite.
Yes.
And I don't know who else I would have, but it's not the girl or the fat one. Which is who I got.
Colin in Dual Strike is fucking broken as hell. I love
like
Dual Strike.
Colin in Code Geass because she's hot and a good robot pilot. But that's beside the point.
What they should do, they won't, but what they should do is release Valkyria Chronicles 2 on that PSP remaster thing. They won't do that, but they should.
Yeah, you know what? No, you know what I can do? I can finish watching the Valkyria Chronicles 1 anime, and then I will consider myself have beaten that game.
There you
it's
go.
It's the same thing. It's got all the same plot points and giant tanks.
No, you don't understand how hard the last mission is, and you need to experience it so you can go, fuck!
Well, I don't know how hard the ending of Yakuza 4 is yet, so maybe I should go do that too.
Yes, in fact. No spoilers. I'm not going to say any spoilers, but for everyone out there, the final battle in Yakuza 4 is fucking impossible. I was, like, playing it for 4 hours straight one day, and just... Yeah, I've never been so mad. I don't usually get mad at games, and I was absolutely furious at that fight. Because it is so well designed against you in the most unfair way.
I suddenly have a new topic. How about getting mad at video games?
Oh, God.
Because I've got some good stories.
I don't generally get mad at video games. It's just occasionally I will, but in general, they're the exception.
I'll tell you, the times I've been the most mad, it's not really at video games themselves. It's at the multiplayer experiences that video games offer.
Space Station 13!
Oh, yeah, that's...
Besides the point, but continue with your point.
Alright, there's been 2 games that I have just been blindingly frustrated with, where I would just start hitting things. And myself included, but Street Fighter 4 and Phantasy Star Online back in the Dreamcast days. And I specifically say Dreamcast days because hackers. Hackers everywhere. Booty, rocking everywhere.
Dreamcast Online because it was over a 56k modem.
Yeah, those were the days. But, so I'd gotten my first character. I don't know why it's funny. Everyone just started laughing, so I'm going to laugh too.
Wow, what is it, Kubi?
Meduka, become Meguka.
Mammy, why?
So yeah, I gotten my first character, my first human, my Humar, up to level 76.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit, son.
And I got Nold. Do you know what being Nold means?
I know what it means.
It means a hacker turns your character into an NPC who can't do anything.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that is awful.
I was so mad, and my parents could not understand why. I was crying.
Does that mean your character is boned offline, too?
Yeah.
Oh,
can't use it, man.
What game is this?
Phantasy Star Online. Oh my god. That was the first time I had ever been betrayed so bad by another human being. That was my adult experience. That was my birth. That was me climbing through the afterbirth and opening my eyes for the first time to how reality actually is. Because I got Nold on PSO.
That's when you learn that life sucks.
Yeah, I learned that people are out to hurt you at all times.
That's when you found out that humanity blows.
Yeah.
That's when you found out that you can't beat no one can beat my Brooklyn Rage.
Yes. And the other time I got mad at Street Fighter 4 because I was playing Guile and I wasn't winning ever, and I got really mad.
Oh god, I want to make Guile references, but I won't because they're like so inappropriate for this chat.
All Ages Podcast.
I know, I want to so bad.
Despite the fact that we've been swearing, dropping F-bombs every now and again, and
right.
talking about injecting acid and DNA into our eyes. But hey, Anything goes.
Just cover your ears if it's.
And I just know I can't, and I want to so bad.
If it's not age appropriate, cover your ears.
I know, that's why I can't.
Cover your ears and tell us the story.
I'll tell you the story. Give me the chocolate!
Good. I'm glad that happened. Anyone else with rage stories?
Oh,
I feel like I should, because I know there are points, but I can't think of one off the top of my head, because as I said, I generally don't get that mad. Other than the Yakuza 4 thing. That's the only thing I can think of recently that got me really mad.
Okay.
I don't either, but I periodically get pissed off at. I go through basically spurts of playing Team Fortress 2, where I'll play it for a week or two and then ignore it completely for a couple months, and usually the end of that week or two is just a match where I'm just getting. It's like you feel like if you see someone before they see you, you should be able to kill them, and then it's.
Crit rockets!
Twitchy. Yeah, crit rockets.
I actually can completely sympathize with that. To go back to a different... Like, that happens all the time in, like, say, Space Station 13. You'll, like, come up behind a guy and click on him, and then suddenly he'll just turn around, and it won't work for whatever reason, and he'll click on... And he'll kill you in one hit. And it's like, fuck! I hate it when
it's just like that.
Yeah, I recently picked up...
out of it.
Bad Company 2, and I've been playing it with some people, and that game is just infuriating sometimes, because
Sniper
you'll see someone, sniper across the map, or someone who has an assault rifle, and they put all of these accuracy modifications on it, so it seems like they drop you in, 2 or 3 bursts from halfway across the map, even though they're assault characters, and it's just, it's really aggravating sometimes.
Speaking of Bad Company 2,
so mad.
I used to play that game a lot when I first got it, and I maxed every class, and then I stopped playing forever because I no longer had a reason to play.
Right, yeah.
I've never been one to play matches for the sake of playing them usually, but I gotta say one thing I do like about that game I know it's like that the series is very sniper happy, but I do appreciate the fact that in Battlefield, as opposed to something like Call of Duty, you actually have to learn how to be a sniper, because there's like bullet drop and shit like that, so you have to learn to gauge distances.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not like Call of Duty where you're just like, quick scope, bam!
Especially if you're manning the vehicles, like the tanks and the choppers, you really got to pay attention to that ballistic trajectory of all the weapons.
Oh god, choppers. Choppers in that game, they are impossible to use, but if you know how to use them, you cannot lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's
I'll tell you what the difference between Battlefield and Call of Duty is. In Call of Duty, someone's going to get mad at you if you aim down your sight of a sniper rifle. That's the difference.
Fucking noob! Casual gamer!
Hard scoping, they call it. They have a term where you're playing properly, and they use it derogatorily.
They have a term for doing it right. Really?
LOL. When I played Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare 2, because I had a brief period where I played it for like 2 weeks maybe, the perfect way to piss someone off, I found, was to use there was a skill for every skill slot, there's the different skills, and each set had a different skill set in it. If you put the skill in each class that was basically the stealth set, so you would never appear on the map. You had a silencer, you had no footsteps, you were immune to UAVs, thermal, etc., etc. People would get so mad at you because they would never know. You wouldn't appear on heartbeats sensors because everyone uses those. You could just sit one place, you could run around, no one would ever see you because you could shoot, you could be looking at a UAV, you'd never come up on a map, and people would get fucking pissed because they couldn't see you. They couldn't use their eyes to see you. Anything beyond, if you're forcing them to actually look at you, it's gonna piss them off because they want to look at their map and see that there's a guy behind them. They don't want to have to turn around. You can follow someone for hours, just they'll never look behind themselves.
Oh, I've become so paranoid in Team Fortress 2 of just looking behind me every 5 seconds for a goddamn spy.
Yep.
Speaking of,
Spy check!
There was this video I saw on YouTube where it was a dude who just was a sniper, and he just accidentally fired a shot and killed a spy that was completely invisible.
I remember that, yeah.
Oh, that's the best.
And then the spy was just like, what?
Didn't he do like a double take too? He's like, wait, what?
He didn't do a double take, but he typed in chat. He's like, so I just accidentally killed a spy.
What was that video where the guy puts the spray that says "totally not a spy"? I can't remember. I think it was Suku linked it.
Sudoku?
Okay.
Sudoku.
Yes, that is his
Gonna have to commit Sudoku now. Can't remember the name.
But
Suker.
yes, it was a fucking video of a spy disguised as someone, and he puts a spray up and says, "This is totally not a spy," and an arrow pointing to him. And this heavy runs by, takes one look at him, and runs off. And the medic kind of looks at him, and you can hear him going over the mic, "Hey, hey, hey, come back!" Because the heavy is fucking running off.
Hey, come back
Alright.
and kill the spy.
There's one more thing I want to say about Bad Company 2 before we proceed. Do you guys all know about the 12 gauge bullets? Do you guys know about the 12 gauge bullets?
The ones that can be slugs or
Yeah,
shot?
yeah, the slugs.
Yeah.
You know about them?
I
Let me tell you a story about my sniper and his faithful shotgun. So, in Bad Company 2, Pastry, you can learn something from this. I don't know if they've patched it out yet, but hopefully they haven't. The 12 gauge bullets, when you load those into a shotgun, one bullet always, infallibly, will hit right in the middle of your crosshairs.
Really?
So, the winning strategy is to be a sniper with a shotgun, and from across the map, you take out your binoculars, and you center those fuckers on some dude's head, some poor unsuspecting bastard, and you immediately switch to your shotgun, and you fire off a round. Dead. It is the most satisfying thing you can do. And you wouldn't believe this, but one time, I killed a chopper pilot, no-scoped the fucker, with my shotgun, just because I knew a bullet was going to go right into the middle of my crosshairs. He hit a full chopper. It was so... I came. And... So yeah,
Speaking
if they
of
haven't
slugs-
patched it, do that. That will improve your Battlefield career.
Yeah, everyone knows
Tenfold.
about it.
Speaking of slugs, slugs as in the slugs that come out of a shotgun,
Not the creature slugs
Not
that are
the
slimy
creature that
and
carries its house on its
contain
back.
Adam, and that's why we made Bioshock.
Those are tasty.
And French people eat them.
Yep.
And,
yeah.
right.
They get superpowers like lightning. They, find a
Exactly.
syringe on the ground and just sort of shoot up, and they think it's a good idea.
Oh god, that
Yummy.
reminds me of
Delicious.
And then would you
another-
kindly?
God
Jump,
damn it.
jump into vans where
Fucking
guys offer you
Hayward
candy.
boy. You fucking just saying you find a syringe on the ground and inject it. Now I remember another Space Station 13 story. That's all you have to say. And then here it comes back. But
The
anyway,
floodgate.
original train of thought. Well, speaking of slug guns, I was actually kind of switching gears for games. When I played Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker for the first time, I was really impressed with all the different variety of weapons in that. Because you can get a
No
slug
kidding.
gun, like a shotgun that is designed to fire slugs and has a scope on it, which is, neat. Usually the shotgun's always that, super inaccurate, really powerful thing. But, with slugs, rifled slugs, you can get pretty good accuracy out of them. English?
Would you like some change for you, my friend?
Thank you, come again.
Slurpee?
Oh god, now I want a Slurpee.
Oh,
Speaking to sing song?
Fuck, now I want a Slurpee. I started talking like an Indian and now I want a Slurpee.
I'll tell you what, the Thor Slurpee at 7-Eleven is pretty good. It's like a blueberry lemonade
I've had it,
kind of
yeah.
mix. It is fantastic.
I like it, but I do like straight up blue Slurpee better.
Yeah, anything blue I've found is pretty tasty usually.
Did anyone ever answer the question of a blue food? Or it doesn't exist,
One
right?
guy kind of did, but
Didn't he say huckleberries? And then we were
Who
like,
answered-
those are
did
purple.
you-
What's a huckleberry? That's a story, not a food. Get your
Exactly.
shit straight.
Did
That's
you
bullshit.
Classic
did you,
American
give
literature.
the guy who got it right his prize?
Yeah. He didn't have an Xbox or PS3, but on the Steam sale, he noticed he wanted the or he noticed that the Heroes of Might and Magic 5 and Dark Messiah of Might and Magic were all in a bundle for like $5. He's like, "Can I cash in?" And I'm like, "Yes, you can, bro." And I also bought Dark Messiah
Nice.
for myself because that game is amazing. It's
Well,
like Deus Ex but medieval.
It was Pinko, right?
Yep, Pinko. Same guy who likes Modica Magica, so I'm kind of at odds here.
Not sure if want.
Not sure if Dapper friend.
Oh,
But
so,
nah, he's alright. We love the guy.
He actually
can
goes
go
into the
back
chat room.
For playing near and whatever you did to get the answer right.
speaking of syringes lying on the ground.
Okay.
Oh boy.
When did we speak of this? I don't remember. Let's
When did we
think back
return to
on it.
robot?
What about
But-
robots that have 2 legs and can run and feed on corpses?
Oh, no.
That old song and dance.
But
Corpse eating running dance song.
I was like fucking in Space Station 13. I was just running through the halls, and I like see a DNA injector on the ground, and it says it's labeled Omni Serum.
Yeah, that
And I'm
doesn't
just
sound
I like where this
I'm
suspicious.
thread is
picking up
going.
off the ground, and I'm just like looking at it. I'm like, do I want to? Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, you do.
So I injected it myself, and immediately gained every single mental disability. And
Just
and
like
I'm
real
just
life.
wandering around the ship, blind and deaf and dumb, and I'm going, help! I need genetics to fix me, and I
Help!
finally,
I'm stupid. Please help me.
I finally don't remember how, but after like ages of searching, I finally did make my way to genetics. They took one look at me and they said, "You took the Omni Serum, didn't you?" I'm like, no, maybe.
How about that
Why do you
God
ask?
Emperor of Mankind, huh? I found out the history behind that syringe, by the way. On some abandoned space station that you have to teleport to or find by flying through space, there is a syringe
Hold on,
called the God
hold on.
Emperor of Mankind. That's where
The
it came
history
from.
of that syringe. That is a good title.
Yes.
This is the history of that syringe. They're funny.
What were we
Everyone's a
talking
robot.
about?
Because they all ate roe burgers.
Well,
Only
we've been going
Hatework is
for
sometimes immune to roe burgers
96
for no
minutes.
reason.
Yeah, let's go for 2 hours.
Okay.
Round it off.
Oh,
If only
God.
Isaac was here, I could tell the story of the time he made the giant robot suit and we invaded security.
Just tell it without him. You were half of the story, weren't you?
Yeah.
Let's get half
But
the
I want
story.
Isaac
Go.
to be here so I can insert like the word slut nonchalantly into it.
Fuck nonchalantly.
No
Just kind
no
of
one's
insert
gonna
it.
get that joke, but
That's okay. That's okay.
So trolling aside, a good friend
he's
of
gonna
ours
watch
named
this and be
Isaac.
pissed off, and it's gonna be funny.
It will.
Quick, start
It was
talking
fun.
bad about women.
Hey, let's talk about people who aren't here.
Bitches and whores. Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, Kazak was a roboticist, and he started building a robot suit. I kind of come, see the robot suit, and I'm like, hey, that's a cool robot suit, man. I want to get in the robot suit. And he's like, okay, fine, you can borrow my ID card. You can get in, test it out a bit, and give it back. Yeah, sure, whatever. He gives me his ID. I hop in the robot suit, immediately wander off. I made the wondrous discovery that the robot suit has a drill hand that can drill through walls. So I like to start drilling a path through the walls. I don't walk through the corridor. I drill through the walls towards security. I drill through the kitchen. I drill through the janitor's office. I drill through atmospherics. Just this huge hole leading straight to security. I get to security. I start just drilling into security. They freak out and start attacking me. So I had to start drilling people. And they eventually just 4 people gang up on me with laser guns and destroy the suit. Only when they reduced the suit to 0 HP, it exploded. And like they were all crowded right next to it. So they all get knocked on their ass and launched across the room by an explosion. And I'm perfectly fine. I have no idea how that works, but whatever. So there's like a dead body next to me, and there's a hole in the spaceship now. And I just yell, I don't want to live without my robot suit! And I start holding my breath and killing myself. And so they start going over. One of them's dead. 3 of them just got launched across the room and broke their heads on the wall. And they, I'll get back up. Some guy, crazy man with a robot suit, just burst in to security, started drilling people. Kazak just starts shouting over the radio, I'll avenge you! And suddenly this second robot suit that Kazak has made marches into security and starts drilling people. They fucking gang up on him again, and he runs off because he's getting damaged. he gets all his weapons disabled, so he starts running at the guy with the gun, trying to make him kill him next to him. Finally, the robot suit gets destroyed. He just, like, launches out of it. It doesn't blow up. And he's like, why didn't it blow up? Why didn't it blow up? And then he kills himself, because he doesn't want to live without the robot suit either. And then the security guy's just like, 2 guys with robot suits just busted in and killed people, taking them to genetics. Leaves. Takes all the dead bodies to genetics. Then, like, the power goes out and a half-formed baby body comes out.
What if I
Great story, man.
I do like how if you get ejected from a cloning pod, halfway through it, you'll be, like, malformed and shit.
Yeah.
There was a scene where, like, everything was going wrong while I was cloned, so the guy just, like, ejects me out of the pod, and he says, we're leaving, the shuttle's here, but I'm like, half done, and I'm like, I have stubby little arms and shit. He says, that doesn't matter, just get on the shuttle, we'll fix you later.
All right.
That's all I got.
Okay.
Should we end with a question or another topic?
We should never end.
I think we should do one more topic.
Okay, cutie marks.
Jews.
We get another topic.
If you had a cutie mark, what would it be?
I do not feel comfortable answering this.
Okay.
If
Thought I'd throw it out there.
you could have any kind... Wait, no. Last topic. Better topic. Ignore everything I just said. Final topic.
Can do.
Seizon Senriku.
I know nothing of that.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
That show is trippy.
It is.
And very ugu.
And since you enjoyed it, right? You're
cool.
interested in watching. Okay,
No,
good.
watch the second one.
Now I'm gonna force it on everyone.
Yes.
Iron just unlocked the gates of hell for you, Pastry and Ren,
Oh no.
and the
Also,
absent
that
Justice
ugu
Cat.
chick,
Not again.
that moe kawaii sexy ugu chick, the one that popped in and suddenly turned into, at the end of the show, my little sister can't be this cute. She is very fabulous when she's a penguin girl.
Yep.
She's like unbelievably fabulous. Like, I would put that in a fashion show and make her lose 30 pounds.
If you know what I mean.
And yes, even when she is dying, she is very ugu.
Okay. Shit. I want to go out on like a better note than that.
Well, we still got to do the question,
Brooklyn
but
Rage.
a better note would be nice.
A better note would be, you can't beat my Brooklyn Rage. Because I don't
Just
want to be
stop.
a furry. You don't like my Joey voice?
I command you to talk like that for the rest of this session.
Speaking of wacky accents, the Pastry, do you remember the time that I spoke with the German accent for all
I do remember that. Wasn't that on Minecraft?
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Not the one where I was freaking out, but I've totally lost the Joey voice now. I don't even care anymore.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Yay!
It's still kind of Brooklyn-y, but it's not Joey anymore. I lost it after the Brooklyn Rage. Brooklyn Rage.
It's those vowels.
Death Smiles.
All right.
Death
Right.
Smiles.
Yeah, Death Smiles.
I have not played it. It's very side-scrolly shooter.
I played it with Ren. We played through it once.
What did we? Oh, Deathsmile?
Outlands.
Yep.
Did you
It's
beat
very Toho without those specific little girls, but it's just pretty much
Other
little
little
girls.
Definitely
in frilly
girls
dresses.
who are little.
Yeah. Yep.
Outlands. Did
Yep.
you beat it?
Outland. Yes, I did.
I still
Oh, I
haven't
know. I
beat
already told you that. I'm the one who. Yeah, I told you I beat Outlands. You're the one who hasn't beat Outlands yet.
Shut up.
Shit.
Shut up and fuck you.
Yes, please.
I'm still up the last boss because
This
it's
podcast
really hard.
rated G.
The last boss is really hard.
Yeah, it is. I was really butt frustrated for most of that fight.
But the fact that what I hate about it the most isn't the fact that it's hard. I can accept hard. What I hate is that every time you lose, you have to spend 10 minutes climbing up a gigantic ladder.
It's like Metal Gear Solid 3
Yeah.
all over again.
Only in that section, you only fell off if you ate the sleepy mushroom while on the ladder. You didn't just, like, have to fucking fall off because there was a dude at the top waiting to kill you.
I'll tell you what really saved my ass. Well, I finally learned to do something that really saved me for that fight. It's like Donkey Kong. There's always a little jump pad that's following your character horizontally, and if you are mashing
fall,
up
you can
and
bounce back
jump,
up, yeah.
yeah, I didn't know that. That's what got me through the rest of that fight. Because
I
a
know
lot of
that.
those
It's
little
still-
orbs that are floating around that you have to hit are out of your reach through the platforms. But if you jump at the right area, you can hit them, and you'll fall right down through quite often. But that little one at the very bottom of the frame will save you every time. That's nice. But
I think
anyway,
what I love most about that game, Outlands,
is that it's
the-
Ikaruga.
I haven't actually played Ikaruga. I heard good things about it, but I haven't played it.
That's the only bullet hell that I'll play.
What I do know about it, though, or like about it, is like about it in a way that I hate. It's kind of weird. Your mind, the human brain, is not set up to deal with the color switching thing. You'll be going through a fucking series of jumps. Your brain is not going to fucking... It's not designed to work like that. You're like switching colors, going, what color do I switch? Oh god, I don't know. How do I shoot the gun? Because your brain is just freaking out the whole time because it has no idea what the hell you're doing. Your fingers don't know what you're doing. Next thing you know, you're fucking running into a wall and splashing acid in your own face.
All right. All right. Anyone else want to throw a game out there that we can just discuss for 10 minutes?
Dungeons of Dreadmore. That just came out. That game's fun.
Preferably one that we might all have a little experience with.
Is it? I'm somewhat interested in it.
Remember? Okay, we'll talk about it. Ren, do you accept
I
these
have
charges?
an idea. I would just maintain quiet until you guys are done anyway.
Status quo. Good for you.
Cool. So, some of you might have noticed, probably none of you, but some of you might have, especially anyone who is listening to this on my channel, because it'll probably be there. I did a quick run through of Dungeons of Dreadmore, so that is a really cool game, and it is really hard, and it pisses you off sometimes, because it's really fucking hard! Like, the time I got fucking... I went through it, and I can't remember what... Oh, I was trying Math and Magic, that was it. I was trying Math and Magic and dual wielding, and I learned two very good things about that in that playthrough. One, Math and Magic is crap, and I would never pick it again. Two, if you find a sword, two swords, in fact, that do like 30 damage each on the level 1, don't get excited because you're absolutely going to die extra fast because fate is going to just conspire against you.
That is roguelikes in a nutshell. I'll tell you what, I love Dreadmore, but I kind of wish it was a little more hardcore like NetHack. Has anyone played NetHack here?
No, I've heard of it, but I haven't played it.
Rings a bell, but I've never played
It's
it.
basically the classic roguelike that isn't Rogue.
Okay.
In that game, pretty much any monster that you encountered could potentially be wielding a wand of death and just hit you with it, and that was game over. And a lot of enemies would just pick up items on the ground and use them against you. I kind of wish this did that. Like, the monsters are all very predictable, and that is fine. That makes me think I can get through the game, but just having to prepare for specific scenarios down the road where a monster is going to have a wand of death or other shit like that, or you're going to step on the wrong kind of trap, is what I like about roguelikes. Like, there's a specific order that you have to take care to do things in early levels, or just get super lucky.
Right.
And you would have to, in NetHack, a standard practice of getting through the game is kicking rocks that you find and seeing how they react to the walls, just to find out what their properties are, and if they're good aligned or bad aligned or shit like that. It's been a long time since I played NetHack, but
The walls are evil.
Wait, we were talking about .hack? I haven't been paying attention.
No, NetHack.
nope.
Oh,
Nope,
okay.
sorry. Go back to being quiet.
We can talk about .hack next and why they haven't made a good .hack game in a while. But anyway, so yeah, Dreadmore.
Might pick it up. Sounds interesting.
I do definitely see where you're coming from. All the monsters, no matter what they look like, are generally all just close range melee attack.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have found one monster that did something different.
Yeah,
and
granted, I gotta say this, I haven't been past floor number 2.
I've been to 4.
Wow. What was it
And
like?
I didn't even die to an enemy. I died because I cast a poison cloud, and I attacked an enemy that was in it, but the moment I attacked it, it died, and so I clicked the floor and walked into my own poison cloud and died, and that was, like, really disappointing.
That is roguelike right there, man.
Yeah. But, yeah, I've been to level
game.
4, and I'll tell you, it gets a lot harder. Like, you know those, you have, like you said, you have to prepare for certain things in NetHack. There are a few things you do have to prepare for later in Dreadmore. Like, one thing you have to prepare for is monster zoos. Those fucking things where there's literally 1,000 monsters in one room. If you can't deal with that, you're going to lose, because you're absolutely going to go through a fucking monster zoo at some point. And when I first beat one, because I beat like 2 or 3 of them, I didn't have any fucking, what's it called? Shit. Now
You didn't have any of that? Why didn't you have that? It's like a basic item.
Fuck shit.
Why didn't you have...
I didn't have any,
You didn't have a fuck shit stack? A fuck
Damn.
shit stack?
On
Biggity
the
fuck,
wall,
biggity
pick
fuck,
fuck.
biggity fuck,
put
biggity
it
fuck,
up
fuck,
on the
fuck,
wall,
fuck,
put it
fuck,
down on the floor in a glass bowl.
Hey, kids, your parents will love this. This is awesome.
If you
Buy our
watch this far,
t-shirts.
you've earned some swearing. But I didn't have any area of attack spells. Like, I was doing a run where I didn't have fireball or anything like that. So what I had to do was I had to run back, find a hallway that was 1 tile wide, and just hide in it.
Oh, so you did the 300.
Yeah.
You did the
And,
King
so
Leonidas.
because only one thing could attack me at once. And I just fucking ate 10,000 pieces of cheese, drank 40 pounds of booze, and just wailed on whatever was in front of me.
That's
at the
my
time.
one big complaint about the game, is that no matter how like much HP your food heals, no matter how much trouble you have to go through to obtain it, whether you purchase it or smelt it,
Smell your food.
Yeah. like it only heals 1 HP per turn. I wish it would like heal maybe 10 HP base and then give you that hunger, or the
Hunger.
the hunger bonus, but no, the food bonus.
Here,
1
And
HP per
hunger
turn.
is for more.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've been like low on HP and I would encounter a dude and I'd cast healing on myself, I'd eat, and it wouldn't make a difference because I'm only healing 1 HP per turn, and he's doing more damage than I am healing.
Yep.
I'll tell you, you might want to try, because like I've really, at first when I first tried vampirism, I hated it. I could not understand how good it was. After playing with it a lot, though, I think if I were to pick a skill set, like, you know, the best possible skill set, you know, there's so many skills, someone's going to come up with a top tier skill set.
Mhm.
I would definitely put vampirism up there, because even though you can't eat food, you can still drink potions, and potions will restore bunches of health at once.
Oh, okay.
And the first ability, when the first skill point you can put in for vampirism will get you Drain Corpse, which restores like 10, 15 HP from a corpse, and you can use that every 4 seconds.
Is that immediately?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
immediate, like bang, eat a corpse, just 10, 15 HP from the corpse, 4-second recharge, bing, bam, boom.
Okay.
Joey
Okay, we need to combine that skill with the robotics skill, and we'll have corpse-eating robots.
There you go.
And then, also, on top of that, every hit you do will drain health from the enemy.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
That's like 5 to 10 HP.
That sounds
right there.
nice.
So, when you first get it, you're kind of like, well, I can't eat food, I can't heal. And you don't heal wounds over time. So if you're, that can come problem. That can cause problems when you like step on a trap or something and you have 1 HP. So, and then you're like freaking out. But in practice, it generally works really well. And if you have to, you could easily combine that with like flesh crafting, which is even though it's
Flesh
like
crafting.
Minecraft, but
It's flesh smithing. Thank
whatever. Golemancy is PP. The point is, you could combine it with the healing spell from that, and that has a nice attack spell in it. The debuff spell from that thing will easily kill anything.
In flesh smithing? Yeah, okay.
And,
Because I was
Flesh
using
craft.
that for a while, and it was pretty effective on the floor 2 monsters when I was still pretty,
yeah.
I guess you'd say young.
The only thing that I don't like about fleshsmithing is it does not have a good range attack.
Yeah, you're right.
The best, hands down, ranged, not ranged, area effect is what I meant. Fireball and Promethean is perfect.
Yeah, I'd agree. If you could, it sucks that it takes so many skill points to like dual class. You only start out with 7, but it's worth it to put them in. That's what I was thinking too. Is fleshsmithing and Promethean.
Promethean and Bob.
Yep.
I think a good setup would be. Let's see. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Swords, dual swords, vampirism, fleshsmithing, Promethean, burglary, and archaeology, maybe, just for the hat.
Yeah.
I mean,
that doesn't come with any skills or anything, does it? It just gives you the Indiana Jones hat.
The hat, though, I've yet to find.
Oh no,
there
are skills like museum and stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the top tier one for that thing, you can recharge the magic enchantment shrines.
Oh yeah.
I've yet to use it, but that still sounds bala.
That does sound nice. It takes like 140 turns to recharge that spell,
but there's nothing to stop you from.
What happened?
Mash on your spacebar.
Everyone just kind of cut out for a second.
Oh,
that was another golden moment of dead air.
All right, good. Well, I just gave away all the spoilers to Dead Space 2, so good thing we cut out.
Yeah, that's good. We didn't want to spoil it for anyone.
Here's something about Dead Space 2. Shameless plug moment for everyone who is on Haywork's channel, complaining that hey, Haywork, do Dead Space 2. I've already done Dead Space 2. It's on my thing, a complete run of it. Oh my god. Endorsed by Haywork, because I'm his friend. Endorse it, please.
I did.
Good.
Starving.
Everybody go do that. Go give me some goddamn views. Stop bugging Haywork or do it.
Seriously.
Do we have a prize for our question yet?
I'm not offering one this week.
I've got one.
I don't have a prize.
I've got a question.
I could come up with a question.
Yeah, Pastry's got a prize. Bren's got a question.
I have a question.
Okay.
All right, since I mentioned it before, I do have the ability to give someone a copy of, for those who remember it and love it, and a copy of the original Roller Coaster Tycoon game. To whoever answers the question correctly.
That thing. I remember your story about this in V.
Hey, let's not talk about that.
Okay, I won't.
The question is, name the symbol, all of the symbols that are on the green rod in the dig.
What's that, Ren?
The game I've been LPing. You know this because you've been in it.
Plug. I did one, Ren.
I'm not going to lie, I don't approve, but I'm not going to stop you from this either.
I didn't... I never... What? You were the one who implied the plug. I was just kind of...
Implying implications!
Alright, so the question, to reiterate, is... What are all the symbols on the green rod in the game The Dig that you happen to be Let's Playing?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And the prize is Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yes, the original.
I just realized, I'm looking through my potential prizes for future casts. I noticed Wingnut never redeemed a gift that I gave him, so I'm gonna re-gift that to somebody next time it's my turn.
I still have Plain Sight.
That is a Steam game, Lumines. I've also got 2 defense grids that haven't been gifted yet. So.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
Yes.
Oh, I don't have defense grid. You should gift one to me, man.
All right, I'm doing that right now.
I love free
Send
shit.
my gift to.
I'll redeem the hell out of this, man.
Where is your name?
I appreciate things.
After this, I should finish editing the episode of The Dig that has the green rod in it.
Speaking of questions, I should come up with a question. I should do a question at one point. I can do things too, man.
Maybe next week. I think we're going to call this one a wrap.
And since I am a colossal
shit
faggot,
stack.
I should come up with a Toho question.
Yes, do that. And nobody will get it, because nobody else on this planet likes Toho.
That's why it's so good. That's why it's such a good, perfect question that I haven't come up with yet.
My next question is going to be about Toku Watch.
Hey, Madoka.
Maguka.
What is it, Kubi?
Become Maguka.
No, Madoka.
We your friends, Madoka.
Mammy, why? Mammy,
Wah,
san.
Mammy.
Mammy, san. Please let me squeeze you, mammy.
Wah.
Okay,
Waluigi end is best end. I'm calling it.
for God's sake, end it already.
I've got 25 more seconds, and it's
No,
and it's
end
2
it.
hours
Wait,
even.
okay.
Ugh.
I have the
Oh,
perfect
wait, no,
way
I
to
gotta
end it
cut
right
out
now.
some at the
when
beginning.
I finish
All
saying
right.
what I'm about to say,
For the love of
we'll
God,
end the
stop
video.
it. Stop it. Nope, shut.
Seizon Senraku!
It's on Senyaku! Okay.
End it.
This
last
is
thing I got was
basically
end
what
it.
we're like.
Yep.